Most haunted bridges. In many old fairy tales, a vindictive old troll who wants your money is the creepiest thing about a bridge. When it comes to these real bridges, you won't see any trolls, but you might find a restless spirit or two. Number 15. The Bunnyman Bridge, Virginia. Urban legend, or maniac still on the loose? That's what residents of Fairfax County, Virginia have long wondered. The Bunnyman refers to two frightening incidents in which a deranged man was seen accosting people in a bunny suit around the Colchester Overpass, now more commonly referred to as Bunnyman Bridge. The first incident happened in 1970. A couple was on their way to visit relatives when they saw a man in a bunny suit. The man came over and smashed the front passenger window, screaming at them about trespassing. The couple quickly drove away. The second incident took place just 10 days later. Security guard Paul Phillips approached a man in a bunny suit who was chopping away at the porch of an unfinished house. This man told Phillips he was trespassing and threatened to hurt him if Phillips stayed. No additional incidents were reported since. The man in the bunny suit was never found. Number 14. Brooklyn Bridge, New York. How could a major bridge, traversed by thousands of people each day, be haunted? Ask the residents of Brooklyn, and they'll tell you. Brooklyn Bridge was built in the 1800s, taking 14 years to complete. During its construction, many workers were injured or passed from accidentally falling off the bridge. A panic broke out soon after the bridge opened, rumors saying the bridge was about to collapse. The rumor caused a stampede, and 12 people were trampled. Many think these incidents are why people hear cries of help from the water below. Others say you can see shadowy figures crossing the bridge at night. If you ever want to check it out for yourself, the city offers Brooklyn Bridge ghost tours, where tourists learn the whole history of the bridge and the spooky neighborhoods that surround it. Number 12. Danville Bridge, Indiana. The Danville Bridge is a rail bridge that connects Danville and Avon in central Indiana. At first sight, no one would expect this quaint bridge was the site of two gruesome legends. During the construction of the bridge, a workman fell into the poured concrete and no one could save him, as his coworkers slowly watched him drown. His body supposed remains today entombed in the cement. Another legend tells of a woman who went out for a walk with her baby across the bridge when a train came bearing down on them. Not having enough time to make it across the bridge, the woman jumped into the river with her baby. Some residents say they hear cries for help when crossing the bridge, and others have reported seeing a woman in white by the water's edge searching for something. Number 10. The Haunted Bridge, Peckforton. In the 1850s, a bridge in Hill Lane was constructed so that people could easily reach Peckforton Castle. The castle has been around since the medieval times. It's not clear where the ghost stories originate from exactly, but they must be scary enough for people to refer to the bridge simply as the Haunted Bridge. One of the stories talks about a ghostly horse and carriage that ride through the bridge at night. The other involves a ghost of a headless woman who used to work at the castle as a servant that appears from the woods and passes underneath the bridge when approached. Number 9. Poinsett Bridge, South Carolina. It's South Carolina's oldest surviving bridge, but the Poinsett Bridge also wins the award for creepiest looking bridge. You can find Poinsett in Greenville County off Highway 11 near the border with North Carolina. The bridge's form resembles an old castle ruin. Many strange sounds and apparitions are heard in the area. In the 50s, someone passed away in a car crash, and now that person's ghost wanders the area. No matter who haunts the bridge, it seems to affect people strongly. A few claim that their cars no longer start after visiting the Poinsett. Number 8. Dunvegan Bridge, Canada. The community of Dunvegan is nestled in northern Alberta, Canada, along the Peace River. The construction of the Dunvegan Bridge was completed in 1960. That same year, two men driving on the bridge during a snowstorm stopped halfway after catching sight of a woman wearing a white cloak. The men described her walking barefoot, and when they offered her a lift, she either ignored them or at least pretended not to notice. For the next few days, the men returned to the bridge with their friends to see her again. Finally, they found the woman picking berries with snow around her ankles. It's a common belief that the woman may be the spirit of an old Roman Catholic nun, or she's a woman who froze to death while searching for her husband in a snowstorm. Number 7. Egypt Road Bridge, Ohio. The Egypt Road Bridge is so old and decrepit that officials retired from service. If you heard the scary hauntings associated with the bridge, you wouldn't want to walk across it anyway. One of those legends include people hearing a baby's crying when crossing it, linked to some ritual cult activities. Because of this, it is more popularly known as Crybaby Bridge. The local lore describes babies and young children disappearing on the bridge for some unknown reason. If you stop your car in the middle of the bridge and pour baby powder on your car's hood, baby footprints appear in the powder. Number 6. Overtoun Bridge, Scotland. Don't ever take your beloved dog to Overtoun Bridge. You risk them running off the edge. The bridge sits on the road of Overtoun House, located in West Dunbartonshire, Scotland. Built in 1895, Lord Overtoun had the bridge made so he could access all his lands easier. Then, during the mid-20th century, something strange started happening. Reports from the 50s and 60s show that in that decade, 50 dogs jumped from the Overtoun Bridge to the waterfalls, or 15 meters below. The reason dogs jump from the bridge eludes experts, as no one can figure out why so many pets have done this. Canine psychologist Dr. David Sands theorizes that perhaps the scent of the mink urine may lure the dogs to the edge, and the schematics of the bridge tricks dogs into thinking they're on an even plane. Number 5. The Seven Gates to Hell, Illinois. For those who actually want to go to hell, these bridges are for you. The Seven Gates, or bridges, are decommissioned railroad overpasses that cross Lebanon Road in Collinsville, Illinois. Legends are attached to each bridge or gate, tales of hauntings, hangings, and satanic rituals. The second gate has a past tied to the KKK and the group's pursuit of a young African-American boy. Animals' remains are found near the third and fourth gates, often called the Twin Gates. The seventh gate is where you will be led to hell by hellhounds. To avoid the presence of such beasts, make sure you walk and don't run near Gate 7. If you drive under each bridge and then through the final bridge at midnight, you apparently will be transported to hell, presumably in your car and not in a handbasket. Number 4. Clinton Road Bridge, New Jersey. The Clinton Road Bridge has been the source of many myths, legends, and actual events. Most recently was the discovery of the body of the notorious mob hitman, Richard the Iceman Kuklinski. The case was dubbed the Iceman because the autopsy showed ice crystals were in his blood vessels. In addition, talk of ghost aspirations, satanic cults, and unusual creatures accompany the bridge's reputation. Not far from the bridge, you will come across a druidic temple that dates back to 1826. The druids supposedly made horrible things happen to any person who disturbed the temple. Yet the strangest tale of them all might be the legend that if you leave a quarter in the middle of the bridge, it will be returned to you in the evening by a ghost of a boy who haunts the bridge. Nobody's sure what happened to him, but it is apparent that his honesty continued with him in his afterlife. Number 3. Bay Bridge, California. The Golden Gate Bridge receives so much attention that people forget all about the Bay Bridge, also located in the Bay Area region of Northern California. The Bay Bridge opened in 1936 and today carries 260,000 vehicles each day. However, there's a darker side to this San Francisco landmark. Those who drive here at night say they've witnessed a ghost highway patrol officer that will pull cars over and then vanish once the vehicles stop. Okay, we'll admit that doesn't sound that scary. How about the fact that since the bridge opened, over 1,500 people have flung themselves off the bridge and into the water below? Locals constantly report hearing the screams of past jumpers. Number 2. Airtight Bridge, Illinois. This bridge doesn't just look creepy, it feels creepy too. People who pass over the bridge say the silence is deafening and that there is an unnatural stillness, which is where it gets its name. Airtight Bridge didn't always have this eerie air about it though. Throughout the 20th century, kids often swam here while the older folks liked to come here to relax and drink. That all changed by the 80s. It was around this time that the bridge became associated with an unsolved crime involving a missing woman who came from Kankakee, Illinois, police referring to her as Jane Doe. The case was gruesome to say the least, so we won't get into the details. People have stopped coming to Airtight Bridge for fun, unless you want a good scare. To this day, the case remains a mystery. What's number 1? Before we tell you, answer this question for us. If you were a ghost, where do you think your haunting grounds would be? A bridge? A castle? Maybe the forest? Let us know in the comments below. Number 1. Colville Covered Bridge, Kentucky. Townspeople who live near Colville Covered Bridge, Kentucky, claim to see strange lights emitting from beneath the bridge. There could be 2 sources to this haunting. One took place in the 1930s after 2 teenage kids were on their way to return home after prom. They lost control of the vehicle, and the pair never made it back home. The second story revolves around a woman named Sarah Mitchell. She passed away while trying to walk through the covered bridge, though no one knows why. Interestingly enough, the cover over the bridge was originally intended to prevent horses from feeling fear of crossing over the water, but now it serves as part of the Colville Bridge's mystery. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked our video, please give a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed, and that you turn on that bell notification.